Hey guys, welcome to my review for Flatliners. This is the 2017 version. I am going to have some spoilers in there for the old 1990s version, but this review is going to be spoiler-free for the 2017 version. Until the end of the review, I will give you a warning, and I'm going to have some spoilers for this movie because I need to talk about some of it and why it really disappointed me. This movie, guys, is a big disappointment because I loved the original one. I didn't really look forward to this remake, but I went and saw it with an open mind, and it is very fucking disappointing. I'm going to go ahead and give Flatliners 2017 blue balls. Yes, Flatliners has flatlined. Now look guys, part of what made the original Flatliners so interesting, kind of a cult classic to some, in such a memorable movie that you need to see, is that it really deals with people dealing with traumatic incidents in their past and trying to cope with them in the future and making amends for horrible things we've done. Because as a human species, we've all done things we regret. We've all done bad things, and obviously to varying degrees. But in the original Flatliners, they really delve into some traumatic things. You have Kiefer Sutherland, who as a child bullied someone so much to the extent that he accidentally kills him. Now in this new redone version, they don't have anything to those type of levels. Okay, it is honestly just another generic movie that they churned out to get some cash based on the name alone, and this movie, I guarantee you, is going to bomb, and nobody's going to remember it after about a week because they're going to be focused on the next movies coming out. Now, besides just the trauma and stuff and the intensity of the first one compared to the lameness of this newest one, another comparison to make is that in the original one, they go under multiple times, and it's because the first time they go in, it's a good experience. At least for the most part, it's a interesting, crazy experience. You got one of them's an atheist, and he's like, oh my god, there might be an afterlife. This is so interesting, I gotta go back, and one of them, it's kind of a sexual experience in a way, and it's interesting. But then the longer they go under, the more they realize there's something else going on. Whereas this one, the new one, the reason they go under is because they realize they get super smart afterwards. Like Ellen Page's character, she goes under initially just as an experiment to map the brain and whatever BS stuff. She comes back and she's like super smart. She knows how to play the piano, and she remembers basically everything she's ever read, and like doctor school is basically super easy for her now, and all these students are struggling, and so they're not going under for a real scientific reason or for a euphoric reason of any kind. It's just because they want to do better in school, and they feel like maybe if they kill themselves, they'll come back smarter, and it just was really dumb. This movie was also edited together very strange because just like the original one, they do end up in some peril here and there, with things coming back after they come back, kind of like maybe messing with them a little bit in certain situations I'm not going to spoil yet. Well, they edit this one situation where someone's like in serious peril, and the next scene, he's like fine and like he's just joined up with his friends again, and it's like, well, so is this a flashback, or is this, it was very confusing. Like, it felt like they definitely cut out a needed scene somewhere, and there's a few scenes like that in this movie, and it was just very weird. But I could have forgiven a lot of stuff about this movie, but at the end of the day, what I really wanted to see was the dark secrets these characters had that they were keeping from each other, and what it was they were bringing back with them. What traumatic thing happened to them? What horrible thing did they do that they need to take amends for? And I was so let down. There were so corny things and so things you've seen a billion times, and it was just so blue balls. What I will say on a positive note is that there are some effective moments in the movie, some interesting moments of kind of creepiness. I would say each of the characters has one really distinct moment that I actually thought was really impressive or really creepy or really disturbing after they come back and they think everything is la la land and amazing, and then something really creepy happens. They each had about one, maybe two moments where something like that happened. And the first half of the movie, I was really intrigued. I'm like, oh man, this might be a really good remake. But after they take this certain ballsy move, about halfway through the movie, maybe 3/4 of the way through the movie just went totally downhill after that. And I commend them for making this move with one of the characters, which I'll talk about when I get to my spoilers. They did it in a corny way, and it made it less effective. It kind of takes you out of the movie and makes you kind of roll your eyes a little bit. And then everything after that is just so cheesy and like not scary and not heart-driven, nothing. It's just blah. It's just throw up on screen, and it's just like, it just felt like, let's get some bankroll for the name Flatliners being on the screen, and I was disappointed. But look, that's the end of my spoiler-free portion. If you want to hear why, more specifically, I was disappointed with this movie, go ahead and stick around to find out. I don't think you need to see this movie. If you just go see the original one, because that's the only good one. But you have been warned. Here are some spoilers. You've had time to click away now, so don't get mad if you get annoyed about spoilers. All right, look, this ballsy move that they take is with Ellen Page, okay? She dies, okay? In the original one, nobody actually died and stayed dead. This movie, her little apparition that she brings back fucking pushes her off the side of a fire escape, and she dies. And I was like, okay, that's pretty ballsy. But she had the, there's no blood on the ground, and she has one of her legs kind of bent up, and it's like my friend pointed out, it seems like everybody always lands that way when they get pushed off a building in a movie or jump off. They always land on their back with their leg like this or whatever. It was just kind of cheesy. And the other big issue is just each of these characters' backstories were not that big a deal. One girl, the big thing she regretted is that this guy with a jellyfish sting on his face died because she gave him the wrong meds. And basically, she was a student at the time, and she forged the records so she wouldn't get in trouble. And there's this big thing with, I feel like I'm a murderer because I gave somebody with a jellyfish sting the wrong meds. And it just wasn't that traumatic. It didn't seem like that big a deal. I mean, obviously that's a big deal to do that, but in terms of the movie and the scope, it just didn't seem that traumatic. You also have Ellen Page, who feels responsible for killing her sister because she got in a car wreck when she was texting. You also have this one girl who I thought was the lamest story of all, got really jealous of someone in school and took her nude photos and sent them to everyone in the school. And the other one, I don't even fucking remember. Oh, the other one, he got some girl pregnant and left her be, and she's off somewhere without him. And it's okay. Now let's compare these to the original movie, okay? Let's start off with the more simple one. The girl sends nude photos around, okay, whatever. You could kind of compare that to William Baldwin's character in the first movie where he took sex videos of all the girls he was with. The difference is why that one was more interesting than the original is because he was engaged and he was being haunted by these videos that he took, and he was worried his fiancée was going to leave him and all this stuff, and she ends up actually leaving him. There's all this drama with that. This movie, she's single and she's has sex in her house after she flatlines and feels all independent and invigorated, and she only gets haunted by it one time in one scene where she thought she saw her having sex and her sex were on the screen and she freaked out. But other than that, she really had no issues, and that one was just lame. Ellen Page's character, she's being haunted by her sister who's trying to kill her all the time, and also the guy who he left the girl who was pregnant, she's trying to kill him the whole time. Everyone's trying to kill them, but in the original one, not everybody was trying to kill them. Everything was reciprocal. Kiefer Sutherland, the guy was trying to kill him because he actually did kill this kid. Kevin Bacon made fun of this little black girl, and she's on the bus making fun of him. Everything was they were getting what they had done. You know what I mean? And in this movie, and at the end of the original Flatliners, you got Kiefer Sutherland under for 9 minutes because he feels like the only way he can make amends is going into the afterlife and actually apologizing to the kid that he killed, and it's this big epic thing. And maybe he doesn't come back, but he does. In this one, the big epic finale is the girl trying to apologize to the jellyfish sting guy, but she doesn't really. It's more just her in this flooding room, and the guy's scary and trying to kill her even there, and it's just it was just fucking lame. I could go on and on about all the crappiness of it. It just didn't have the same stakes The things haunting them were not reciprocal to what they had done. They were nothing compared to the original one, and that's all there is to it. This movie gave me blue balls. It sucks because it had potential, and they just didn't live up to it. So anyways, that's enough about me ranting on this movie. What did you guys think? Did you like the original one better? Are you excited for this new one? Whatever you want to know, let me know below. Also, remember you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Niddleman, and stay tuned for more movie reviews if you can handle it. Go.